All right, you guys, welcome to our Sunday Strength. I hope everybody is doing well. I noticed on our previous videos that sometimes I can see comments that go down. I don't know how to get those comments afterwards. So I think today I might actually, if I don't get in the flow of having a conversation about something, I might actually answer questions if anybody has questions. And if not, I mean, we can do what we're talking about, and that could be fine too. Um, I wanted to a little bit follow up on what it is that we talked about last week. So last week we were sharing that we get so caught up in trying to get somebody else to do something different so that we can be okay that ends up being the fight that we have against each other constantly. And it's frankly it's ruining marriages. It's making things super difficult, and we just don't know how to do it a different way. Well, the second part of that idea is if you do something different, then you can actually make yourself okay. And so I think this week that's what I want to talk about is what are the things that you could be doing or resolving that would help you to create a better space for yourself in your relationship. So, if we just to kind of review why this is important because um, the whole goal, I think, of relationship is for us to be able to take our goodness, like whatever it is that we're able to cultivate within ourselves and be able to give it to somebody else, right? The hard thing is that our goodness, for us to be able to deliver it, there's been different things that we've gone through that make it challenging. For us to be able to cultivate it, there's been difficult things that we've gone through that make it challenging. And so, in all those scenarios, in any of those scenarios, it makes it really hard for us to um, take what we're creating inside of us and then hand it over. It's difficult for us to create something inside of us and hand it over. So what do we need to do to be able to do that? I would say the number one thing that you need to be able to do is make sure that you're willing to do your work on all the things that you have experienced in your life. So the person who you're with maybe somebody that can help you and be next to you during that time. But if you haven't done your work or you're unwilling to do your work at a high level, then it's going to make it difficult inside of your relationship. And so I think that it's an important piece. So there's our first comment. Hi, Daxton. I hope you're having a good day too. So you being willing to do your work is the first piece of it. The second thing is that, and there's another one, Serdy. Hey, Serdy, how's it going? The second one is for you to be able to look at how do I do relationships. And so for so many of us, we watch relationships happen, but we don't understand how they should be happening. Like we've always been trained to say, oh, a relationship is there for me so that it can serve me and make me better or because I feel happy. But that's not really the purpose of relationships. And so, how do we do relationships would be the second thing that you need to be able to look at and start transforming inside of your inside of your life, inside of your heart. And the third thing, and not it might not be everybody's favorite, but I think you need to develop some kind of spiritual connection. Like you need to be able to in your life really start thinking about like spiritually, what am I doing? How am I going to connect differently to what's going on inside of my world? Those three levels of interaction will change and give you a perspective inside of your mind that will change how you're going to do your relationship. And so, if you remember, what we said was that I'm the one that needs to do something different for me to be okay. And if you're doing your work on those things, then that actually ends up being the fuel. And so now, how does that happen in your relationship? If I'm doing my own work and my partner's doing that same thing, how does that help us? Well, you're able to connect at that point because everything that's stopping you right now from being able to do your connection between each other are all the hardships that you've experienced that you're not pursuing or you're not doing anything about, right? Instead, you're experiencing something hard, like you feel alone in your relationship. You're experiencing that in a difficult way, and then you blame, and then it creates more fighting and more forearms than anything else. And so um, now that you put things out there that you say, look, I'm really working on this for this week, or I'm really working on my feelings of loneliness for this next month. It'll be automatic if each one of us is willing to be vulnerable like that, that we're going to tap into each other and see how we could really be able to help each other. Okay. Um, and I think that the more that you look at those things, that you'll start building yourself. And that's the second part of what we need for us to get better in our relationship. All right, you guys. To me, there's nothing more than, or there's nothing better in life than to be able to get your relationship right and have your relationship as something that can support you in the things that you need to do, versus you having to struggle through it and it be the most challenging thing in your life. We want it to be something that is supportive and it feels like a gift more than it feels like something that's heavy and hard and difficult. Well, how do we get there? We get there by going inside out. We get there by doing the things that we need to do for ourselves. You guys enjoy your Sunday, and we'll talk to you soon.